Hey everybody, Seth Campbell here with the new Segue Says podcast. Well, this week we have the return of one of our most frequent artists, Billy Joel, and a classic artist making his first appearance in the Segue podcast, Don McLean. And before you get excited, no, I'm not doing American Pie. I'm sorry, I haven't learned all the words to it yet. I want to, I intend to, but there's a lot of words, it's going to take me a while. So the songs we're doing are You're My Home by Billy Joel and Castles in the Air by Don McLean. Now, both these songs have a very similar feel. They're at the same. They're in the same key. They're both in F major, and they're at the same tempo. "You're My Home's" message is a little happier, but they still convey the same general forward-looking emotion, I think, lyrically and musically. So, "You're My Home" was, of course, a song off Billy Joel's Piano Man album, his second record, and of course, the big hit off that, there's Piano Man and Captain Jack, but You're My Home has also gotten a fair amount, quite a lot of radio play. It's included on the Essential Billy Joel. It wasn't necessarily a hit by the numbers, but it's still considered a classic piece, and it's been weaving in and out of Billy Joel's live set lists ever since the record came out. It's a verse-refrain song, and it goes a bit like this. Surprise when I feel my withered roots begin to grow. No, I've never had a place that I could call my very own, but that's alright, my love, 'cause you're my home. And actually, the main riff of this song and in fact the other song are both done on guitar, but my guitar playing isn't quite good enough for that yet. So gonna have to deal with it on piano. And as you can see, the main, I suppose you could call it a riff, the instrumental turnaround is this stepwise walk down, all over an F in the bass. So it's the one major 7, the flat 7, 4 chord over the 6 for the more technically minded, but essentially you can hear it just you got this walk down, and that's the main riff of You're My Home. Now, the Don McLean song Castles in the Air has a very similar riff, though it's also done on guitar normally. And this one's more diatonic, it doesn't use the flat 7, so it's all over the F, and it's 4 bars, then a turnaround, and this is a verse of that. And if she asks you why, you can tell her that I told you that I'm tired of castles in the air. I've got a dream, I want the world to share, and castle walls just lead me to despair. Forest green where the mountains touch the sky, a dream come true. I'll live there till I die. I'm asking you to say my last goodbye. The love we knew ain't worth another child. And then there's a B section, which I suppose you'd call the chorus, that follows that up. But that's the main portion we're going to be working with, and you can already see they're very similar. As I said, both have this walk down pattern in F, they're at the same tempo, so it's just a matter of interchangeability. Now you'll notice the timing of the two, where the notes are placed, is a little different. I mean, that's a little different than, but both of them are fairly recognizable from the notes alone. So, the essence really is just to substitute one for the other, and if you feel like varying the time just a little bit, you can do that. But basically, I like to start with You're My Home. And you get to the last, run through that. I get to stop and settle down. Yeah. Say you're my cabin, you're my instant pleasure dome. Wherever we're together, that's my home. You're my home. Now, the second bar of every You're My Home phrase is a little different than the walk down. It doesn't go to the flat 7. Instead, it goes from the B flat to the C. And that's just an easy turnaround. So basically, at any point, you can switch from one riff to the other. And you can drag out the You're My Home bit for however long you want. If you want to keep doing You're My Home. To the Castles in the Air riff there, the Castles in the Air is a bit more sparse. There's a little more open space. So you want to allow a little time for it to quiet down, if that's the way you're going to do it. And then, of course, you just start singing Castles in the Air over that riff. Now, alternatively, you could make the change right at the last note. Wherever we're together, that's my home. You can even sing You're My Home over this. You're my home. You don't have to. And if she asks you why, you can tell her that I told you that I'm tired of castles in the air. I've got a dream. While the world is sharing castle walls, just lead me to despair. I like to end it on Castles in the Air myself, particularly because at the end, at least the version I listen to most frequently and go by is actually not the original Don McLean version, as good as that is, but it's a Celtic Thunder version. And Keith Harkin does some great vocals on The Way I Do It Live, is just to close in Celtic Thunder's live performances. Ain't worth another try. And I like to close it like that. However, if you wanted, if you felt so inclined, you could start up the You're My Home riff there again, and, I don't know, do an extra verse of You're My Home, or however you wanted to turn around, and this is what that would sound like. Na 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 dee dee dee. Na 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 dee dee dee. Ain't worth another try. Exactly perfectly, but I think if you're going to go back into You're My Home, rather than, since there are only 3 verses, doing one again is a significantly, repeating just one of the 3 verses because there are only 3 is very significant. So I like to do most of the verse instrumentally and just sing the refrain, because at one point in the song Billy actually does that. He does an instrumental verse and repeats one of the refrains. So, you know, you have ain't worth another try. That flat 7 chord, which is an E flat, that flat flat 7 is very indicative that this is once again You're My Home. Because there's no flat 7 in Castles in the Air. And if you've done this, and if you're ending on You're My Home, you probably just want to end it on the last note there, since you've already extended the riff previously to get into Castles in the Air, and you've been jamming on these riffs for, between these two songs, a good 5-6 minutes now. So it's best to end it right there if that's what you want to do. But so that gives you a couple options on how to get back out of it if you want to. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. As you can see, I'm still in Amesbury, but I should be back in Boston as of the airing of this and as of next week. So, hope all's well, and I will talk to you soon. See you next time.